Hey piano people, in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to 10x your scale speed with one practice method. You can also use this practice method to make any scale-like passage in any piece of music go 10 times faster. Hey, welcome to Ashley on Music Studio. I'm Ashley and I'm here to teach you how to practice smarter, not harder. Let's dive in. So the one method that you can use to 10x your scale speed is called flash practice. Let me show you how to do it. We're going to take a look at one of the more complicated scales, the key of B flat major. It's tricky because the fingering is a little bit more challenging than, let's say, C major, and there's also two flats that we have to remember. This is a scale that I even still to this day sometimes make a mistake on, so this will be an authentic practice session that you're going to be watching here. Now for this practice method, you want to make sure that you're doing hands alone. So the right hand by itself and then the left hand by itself. And for the purpose of this video, we're really just going to focus on the right hand. And you also want to make sure that you are being completely accurate with your notes and the fingering that you are going to use. Because if you are making mistakes with notes or you're using inconsistent fingering, this practice method will not work. So for B flat major, we're going to be playing B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat. And we're going to be using fingers 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, for the purpose of this video, we're just going to do this right hand scale 1 octave going up. But you could use this method to do many octaves. You could also use this method to do both hands. It's just we're going to focus on the simplest way to do it first. With this method, you also don't ever want to do a chunk that is larger than about 8 notes in a row. So even if you were going to practice multiple octaves, you would want to make sure to start just with a chunk of 8 notes, and then you would add the next chunk of 8 notes after that. The beautiful thing about practicing a scale with this method is that because it just repeats over and over again, also by doing 1 octave, you really are learning the whole scale in as many octaves as you want. All right, now that we're sure of our notes and our fingering, let's do some flash practice. So we're going to start with 2 notes, and you will always start with just 2 notes. The first note is going to be as light and fast as possible, and the second note is going to be as accented and as heavy as possible. So this is my first note, this is my second note. So let's try it. Notice that first note's really light and fast, and the second one is really heavy and accented. We're going to do that at least 5 to 10 times in a row, making sure that the notes are always correct, the fingers are always consistent, and that I'm always light and fast on the first one and accented on the second one. Okay, now once that feels easy, then we're going to go to 3 notes. And now when we add that third note, the first 2 notes are as light and fast as possible, and the third note is very accented. That was 7 times in a row, and that feels pretty good. Now we're going to add the 4th note. And same thing, the 4th note will be very accented, and the first 3 notes are very light and fast. Whoop, mistake there. That was about 4 times. Let's try it again. We're gonna take a little break so that I can really reset and do it accurately. Okay, now that I have the 4th one, I'm gonna go on to the 5th one. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? So let's do the first 4 really light and fast, and the 5th one very accented. Whew, that's tricky. Let me just double check my fingering, yep. Oops, and now I'm gonna take a little break because that's where it starts to get really challenging, and you can hear I'm starting to get a little fumbly and I'm starting to make some mistakes. So I wanna take a longer pause between each repetition to reset my hand, reset my brain, and make sure that I can do this as many times in a row accurately as possible. Because when you're doing this practice method, if you do it once correct and then you make a mistake, and then you do it once correct and then you make a mistake, it's not effective. It has to have many repetitions accurately in a row. Take a little break. That was 3. That was pretty good. That was 6. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm gonna do it a couple more times just because that's really challenging. Okay, now it feels easier. Okay, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm gonna go up to 6. So the first 5 notes are going to be very fast and light. The 6th note will be accented. Whew, it's tricky because my thumb is here and naturally my thumb wants to accent, but I have to land on the last note accented. Woo! You can hear I'm still accenting the thumb. Let's do it again. There we go. Okay, that feels pretty good. Now I'm gonna go all the way to the 7th note. Same thing, the 7th note will be accented. The first 6 will be light and fast. Oop, I did the wrong fingering. Whew, hang on. Now, every time you add a note, you're gonna notice different things poke out, right? Like when I was going to number 6, my thumb was accented, so I really had to work to make the 6th note accented and not the thumb. And now the same thing is happening. My hand wants to accent this note, even though we're on the 7th one, because I was just practicing this one before. So I really need to work to get the accent to be all the way on that 7th note. And sometimes I'll count if I can't like remember where I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now I'm gonna go all the way to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that one's really hard because it's my 4th finger, which is weak, and it's going up on a black key all of a sudden. So let's do it a few more times. Woo! You can hear it's hard. There we go. I really have to give that 4th finger like some extra attention in order to have it land correctly on the black key there. Let's do it a few more times. Again. There we go. So at this point, you can hear my accuracy is decreasing. And so that's how I know with flash practice that I've done a chain of notes that is maybe a little too long. So that's why I said 8 notes is the maximum you would ever do. But if I were practicing this honestly on my own, I would actually maybe even cut it up into a chunk of like 4 or 5 notes and then another chunk of 4 and 5 notes. Because really with this method, what's important is that we get the accents correct, that all of the notes are even up until that last note, and that we are accurate over and over again. And since my accuracy is diminishing in these last 3 notes, if I were really practicing this, not like outside of this tutorial, I would go back and I would do this again, and I would just do the first 4 notes. And then I would start on the 4th note as my starting note and do the next 4 or 5 notes, okay? And so that's how I would practice this. So you can always do a smaller chunk of notes. And in fact, I would err on the side of doing a smaller chunk of notes so that it's more accurate and so it gets even better into your muscle memory. So now let's see what happens when we take away the practice method. So now we're just gonna try to play the scale and see how it sounds. Real quickly, before I show you what it sounds like when you're all done, I have to let you know that enrollment for Casual to Confident Piano Player is open right now. Enrollment only opens twice a year, and this is the last time that it's going to be open in 2024. Casual to Confident Piano Player is a one-stop shop for piano players who are ready to transform the way that you practice to unveil the music inside of you. Casual to Confident Piano Player includes live classes in Zoom with me, where I actually listen to you play and give you feedback, a training vault of curriculum of videos and PDFs, including the confidence roadmap and all of the revolutionary practice methods that you will need to transform the way that you sound at the piano, plus hundreds of hours of past class replays and so much more. I'm going to link to Casual to Confident Piano Player in the description below because enrollment is only open for a few more days. Make sure to check it out right now after this video because enrollment will not open again this year. All right, here's the grand reveal. Let's hear it all together. Oh my gosh, it's so fast, it's so accurate, it's so smooth. And the best part is that my hand just kind of remembers it because it got so deep into my muscle memory and into my brain that I don't really have to think about the fingering or the notes anymore. My hand just remembers it. And now I could go back and I could use this method going down and then descending. The scale would also be just as accurate. I could do it with the left hand, and then I could eventually even do it hands together once I did it hands separately first. Now, if you implemented this method correctly, then this is exactly how it's going to feel. It's kind of like a little magic trick. You're gonna be like, wow, how am I even able to play it that fast and that evenly? And that is the power of flash practice. It's so effective when you do it correctly. That's the beauty of flash practice. It truly works things into the deeper layers of your memory so that your brain and your hands can coordinate together and remember what you are doing. If you use this for scales, you will be able to 10x your speed, but remember, you can also use this for other pieces of music. You would go about it the exact same way, adding one note at a time, making sure that last note is very accented and that everything before it is very, very light and fast. Don't ever use this practice method for more than about 8 notes in a row, and just come back to this video, save the link, bookmark it so that you make sure that you are using it correctly. So take this method and 10x everything, and check out that link for Casual to Confident Piano Player because enrollment is open. And I'm also going to link on the end screen here a video where you can learn how to play all of your major scales with the correct notes and the correct fingering. You can check out that video and the link to Casual to Confident Piano Player right here on the end screen. Happy practicing.